Today is Tuesday, June the 13th, 2017. The time being 5:15 p.m. or Central Time, Charleston, Missouri time. I'm coming here today because today, me and my oldest daughter here, we went to court. I didn't have to go to court today, but I went to court today, and my oldest daughter wanted to go to see how things operate as far as with the guy that threatened me on my property March the 9th, 2017, this year, threatened to kill me. He not only threatened to kill me, but he said he'll kill me and take care of my daughters. When I went to court last week on the 7th of March, he was sitting at the table with a public defender. But yet he said he gonna kill me and take care of my children. He don't even take care of his own children. He too busy out in the streets threatening individuals. But one thing about it, I still pray for him. And I ask God to have mercy on him because he can't go around threatening everybody. You see, 40 or 50 years ago, he probably been history. And I thank God it wasn't 40 something years ago, because I don't want to take nobody's life. My reason for it, today we went, he had a public defender again. So we know it's something about him taking care of my daughters. We know he ain't finna do that, because if you have money, you're gonna get an attorney. I didn't see none of his friends. I seen some of his relatives in there, which that's normal for a relative to come to court when one of their relatives is being charged with something. You see, I'm not finna have no pity, because ain't nobody had no pity when I was falsely accused last year about his program director for the Susanna Wesley Family Learning Center. You see, nobody didn't consider themselves my cousin then, but now that I'm prosecuting this individual, what'd he do to you, cuz? I'm not your cousin. And if you want to know what he did to me, just come to court. He did to me what he doing to a whole bunch of other people out here that's scared of him. Only thing I'm afraid of, taking his life, and I might lose my freedom and not be able to raise my daughters, because I'm not going to take no threats. If I fear you a threat, I'm going to do my best, my very best, to stop you in your tracks by any means necessary. Now, I want to show you something. The last two times I went to court, when the 7th of June last week, and today on the 13th, I'm listening to Darren Kane, the prosecuting attorney for Mississippi County, Charleston, Missouri, and his assistant, that's M.S., I believe it is, period, Tabitha Thurman, when people coming up on cases that Corey Hutchinson, the former sheriff who was ousted by the Missouri State attorney, they throwing the cases out that people got arrested with him, because they saying that it was something falsified about it. If Darren Kane them said that they have 100 or more cases to throw out because they feel Corey Hutchinson, who was the sheriff for the Mississippi County here in Charleston, Missouri Sheriff Department, wrote false affidavits or probable cause affidavits, then you all should have been able to detect some of that came to your office. Y'all passed the bar. But if you really standing for truth, let's go to one that an officer brought to y'all, Tabitha Thurman and Darren Kane. You see this? In the circuit court of Mississippi County, Missouri, State of Missouri plaintiff versus Raymond Lewis Ivy. This is the case number. I know y'all know it all so well. Y'all prosecuted me for videoing an individual that was telling children in the streets that I raped children. The case number is 16M1-CR00158. Let me show you something. Now, you see that? You see this here? It said the information, it said Darren K. Kane, prosecuting attorney of Mississippi County, Missouri, charges that the defendant in violation of count 1, a misdemeanor of harassment. Okay? They got a warrant put out for me. You see, it's respectfully submitted. If it's respectfully submitted, then you should have known by a doubt of contradiction there wasn't nothing wrong with this here. You see who did it. You see all that information. Now let's go to this next page. In the Circuit Court of Mississippi County, Missouri, Charleston, Missouri, Missouri probable cause affidavit. State of Missouri, County of Mississippi. You see who this is against? Raymond Lewis Ivy, probable cause affidavit. This is the police report, case number 2016-0227. Subject not in custody, but they put a warrant out for me. But look who wrote it. POS, public safety officer from Charleston, Missouri, Zach Albright, upon my oath. He took an oath. He swore up under oath with the state's attorney and Darren Kane them going in front of a judge. States the following. I am a public safety officer with the Charleston Department of Public Safety. I have 14 years experience as a law enforcement officer and over 480 hours of law enforcement training in the state of Missouri. I have probable cause to believe that on April the 9th, 2016, at approximately 15:24 hours, 3:24, Raymond Lewis Ivy committed the offenses of harassment, Class A misdemeanor, and stalking, Class A misdemeanor. Now, they went in front of a judge to do that. Let me show you what he was talking about, harassment. You'll be able to look at my YouTube videos when you get a chance. But the harassment he talking about, now you see I'm leaving my house. From my house, right before you get where that car stopped at, right in the middle of the streets, the program director for the Susanna Wesley Family Learning Center, program director for the children, was right there by my house. He don't live over here. He live way on the other end. Where back down from the police department in an all-white neighborhood. He black. But he's by my house. How am I stalking him? I went to video to show the law enforcement officials that he's in my neighborhood, in this town, telling children something that's false about me, saying that I'm a rapist and a pedophile. When you look at the YouTube video, you'll see it. It was for 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Now in time did he say he was afraid. But let me show you. You seen this probable cause affidavit. And you seen when he wrote it. That's the time when I videoed this guy. But now, in this affidavit, let me tell you what he said. He told Darren Kane, the leading prosecuting attorney here in Charleston, Missouri, for the Mississippi County 33rd Circuit. They went in front of a judge. This was on the 9th. They went in front of a judge, I believe on the 11th or the 12th of April of 2016, and told a judge that he called this individual who never called him down to the police station because he looked at the video. And he said the individual said he want to prosecute because he afraid. This is about 3 hours later. He called the individual, but he never talked to me and asked me why was I doing it. He just went in front to the prosecuting attorney. He skipped over all the other things and went straight to the prosecuting attorney prosecutor attorney went straight to a judge, and the judge gave, the first judge they went to, Bob Barker, he recused himself because he was in a scandal with something that they did wrong to me before, and the Chief Justice of the Missouri Supreme Court, Patricia Breckenridge, had to send a judge from the 32nd Circuit, Judge Gary Camp, down here to Charleston, Missouri, to hear that case that Bob Barker tried to get on me, or put on me, that this program director said the same thing. I was stalking him. I was harassing him. I was threatening him. But this Judge Camp, after 2.5 hours of testimony, he threw it out. So they came again with this here. I made the biggest mistake getting a lawyer out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, by the name, I hired a lawyer by the name of Malcolm Montgomery. I paid him in full. He's supposed to have been representing me. He sent his son. I gave them 4 witnesses. One was the police. They never talked to none one of them. They never called him to court. Malcolm Montgomery never came to court. He sent his son, who allowed the state's attorney to bring up my criminal background, and he knew about the alleged victim criminal background, being convicted in 1998 by the FBI, pled guilty to voter fraud here in the state of Missouri. Can't vote no more. The state's attorney knew it, and they never brought up his or never disclosed that to us. That's something that they should have did. Then when we put in the rule of witnesses, that means when the state witnesses get ready to testify, one have to go in the back, the same with ours. But when the police officer, Zach Albright, started to testify, they let the alleged victim stay right there and listen to everything he said. But see, Zach Albright, he didn't say what he said when he went on April the 12th in front of a judge, him and Darren Kane, and said that he called this man, and this man said, he said in this transcript. You see this here? This is something that I appealed. This is the trial transcripts. It's a real short one. I'll give it to any reporter, journalist that want to listen to it, want to read this here to see how much corrupted Darren Kane is. He talking about throwing out Corey Hutchinson cases because they was falsified. Darren Kane them knew this man was lying when he went back on the stand in this transcript, and he said, when did you call the alleged victim? You know what he said? He said, I never called him. If you say you never called him, then you lying on one of these. You took an oath on this, and you up under oath again. August the 25th, 2016. You said that the alleged victim wife called you and said she didn't like the video. She was nowhere in the courtroom. The judge should have never let that go into the record, nor should my attorney. But what I'm trying to show you, if Darren Kane and Tabitha Thurman is for justice, tell them to look over these transcripts again. Tell them to look over this affidavit, because Zach Albright, he left from Sykes in Missouri Police Department about 3 years or so ago, came to Charleston, stayed here a couple of years, then he left here. Now he had New Magic, but he admitted to me on March the 9th, 2017, just this year, that he was pressured, forced into lying in this, Everybody that know me, all my friends in Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, the UK, all of y'all, try to get some journalists that's not from this area to get a copy of this. I give it to them freely. It'll show you how corrupted they is. Peace be still.